Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Ray. Welcome to the Alchemy of Stress and welcome to new subscribers. Thank you for being here. I thought I'd continue from the last post, yesterday's post, where I talked about different energy centers and where we hold tension in the body and how this is related to the stress that you might be experiencing. And I got a question about neck and shoulder pain. And so what I thought I'd do to give you a little bit more insight, help you understand how your body is communicating to you and how you might be holding stress in the body without awareness, because this is the kind of thing that builds up over time, and it's the way that we are in these reactive patterns that have become part of what I call our habit of being. So yeah, to give you a little bit more insight, and just take what resonates, and this isn't exhaustive, it's giving you a little bit more information so you can start to shift how you relate to stress, how you relate to your body, and how you relate to yourself as well. Okay, so over the next few posts I'm going to look at the different energy centers, and we're going to start with the fifth energy center, which is the throat chakra, and look at what we can experience in terms of tension, pain, discomfort, symptoms in this area. What I'm going to do also is talk about what's happening in these different areas of the body. And so in the area of the throat chakra, you've got your thyroid and parathyroid. In fact, in all the energy centers of the body, apart from the first, which is at the base of the spine, there are hormonal glands. And the other systems of the body, of course, are also represented in these different energy centers. So you've got, essentially here, it's about metabolism of energy, but also of ideas, how we process things in life, okay? And the throat chakra is very much, quite obvious about how we express ourselves, express what we feel. And I feel very much that to be human is to feel. We focus very much on being able to think. We are here to feel. We have a body, and through our bodies we feel. And everything we process through the brain and our nervous system, we feel somehow in the body. And my approach to healing, to alchemy, to working with stress is by really connecting to and being aware of what we feel. Okay, so coming back to the throat chakra, this energy center, and things that we can experience in this area, we can experience a lot of shoulder tension, and there's also a relationship here to what's happening in this energy center. But let's focus on the throat for today. The neck tension, shoulder tension, tightness in the throat, stiffness, neck stiffness, sore throats. All of this can be traced back to emotional experiences, often or not. And we tend to be very rational about what it is we're experiencing. We think, well, maybe, I pulled something or I slept badly. But often the tension that we feel in this area is through what we're holding in, okay? And stress is a holding in, a holding tight. But in the area of the throat, it's what we're perhaps not expressing. And we've learnt to normalize or to hold in rather than to actually say, I'm feeling, or to express our anger or our upset, or that something hurt, or that we don't feel supported. And again, this area of the shoulders, when we have tension here, it's like we're holding everything up, we're carrying the weight of the world. And in that way, it can often be that we feel unsupported, or that we have to do everything on our own, or we've learnt to be very hyper be very independent, hyper independence, but also hypervigilance, because stress is something that causes us to be on high alert. And when we're on high alert, we tend to tense up and hold a lot of stress and tension here. And there's that having our radar out in the event that something might go wrong. There's that sort of conditioning to be always ready, on alert, okay? And that can cause a lot of tension here. And it's understanding that, we think we can treat this area, massage or, painkillers, but actually the origin of that stress is somewhere else. And it's in an energy, an emotion that we've held in and not expressed, often or not. And that awareness is very powerful, because instead of focusing on, why have I got this pain here? It's what is the underlying pain or discomfort emotionally? What is it I haven't acknowledged to myself? What have I normalized? And what haven't I said out loud? Okay? Maybe it's as simple as, I'm angry. I am so angry or irritated. And the origin of that stress, which is something I talk about a lot in the Alchemy of Stress, isn't necessarily in this area or in the throat energy center. It could be that we felt really hurt, which tends to be more something that we feel in the heart center. But then because we don't express it, and this is something that builds up over time, we can start to feel tension around the neck and the shoulders, okay? And it's understanding that everything is connected. And as we tune into the body, we can start to connect with our emotional experiences and what might have been held in without awareness. And again, this can be something that started at a very early age, okay? And it's not something you have to dig for. It's just being present and engaging with what it is you're feeling in the body in the moment. Now, it might be that you're feeling something quite specific and quite obvious, there's pain. But as you learn to tune in and connect with the more subtle sensations, and there are so many ways that stress is expressed in the body, and there are so many subtle, what I call frequencies, energy of emotions that we experience. And the more that you tune in and you listen, I say listen, but it's actually being present and sensing these different feelings, frequencies in the body, the more you're going to start to see how everything is connected. And then we don't need to be so rational and so limited about what we think is going on with our health and what it is we're experiencing, the discomfort we're experiencing. Okay? So it helps, if you realize, well, I've had this for a few weeks, it helps also to come back to that point when this, pain or tension first started, and consider what was going on in my life at that moment. Did I feel triggered by something? Was there something I was overwhelmed by? And again, often it's things that we normalize because we tend to experience these things in a way that we don't acknowledge the importance or the significance until we understand how these things are connected. Okay? So, for example, if you're experiencing any tension in the shoulders and neck, and a lot of us do, that neck and shoulder tension is quite common. Consider how you might be carrying something, whether it's carrying a lot of responsibility or that feeling of not having any choice, of being under pressure in some way. How is that pressure coming from within? Or is there something that you haven't expressed? And you don't have to necessarily express it to another person. It's enough to acknowledge it to yourself. That's also very powerful. And in that way, as you acknowledge something that you're feeling, you're saying what I feel matters. I matter, okay? And there you've got the foundation of your self-worth, okay? And you start to show up for yourself. You start to give yourself the support and the acknowledgement that you deserve, okay? And this is all part of the process that I share in the Alchemy of Stress, a 6-week daily audio course, which takes you step by step through this process, building awareness and showing you how to connect to what it is you're feeling in the body and how to understand the stress that you're experiencing, because stress is an incredibly personal experience, okay? So I'm giving you the key to unlock your experience of stress so you can heal stress for good, okay? Alchemize stress. It's transformative, okay? So I hope that helps. And again, please do ask me some questions. And it's about developing that awareness so we can shift out of that rational and very limited idea of what stress is and start to connect to it in a way that's going to help you break out of that stress state of survival and limitation and really start to connect to the truth of who you are so that you can live in your unlimited creative potential. Okay. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking and sharing, and please do share your comments, and I look forward to connecting with you in the next post.